Hi Virgo, welcome to Carol's Universe, Tarot Readings from the Heart. Thanks ever so much for joining me on your April 2017 general month ahead reading. You should find next door, Virgo, that there is your 21 card Gypsy Tarot reading with Lenormand clarifiers for the next 6 months, April through to September 2017. So we're just going to shuffle out the energies and see what's coming in for you guys. Universe Spirit, show me what's coming in for Virgo in the month of April 2017. Show me Virgo, what's coming in for Virgo. What's coming in for Virgo in the month of April 2017? Show me. Show me Virgo. Show me Virgo in the month of April 2017. What can you see coming in for Virgo, Sun, Moon and Rising signs? Virgo, Sun, Moon and Rising signs. Virgo, Sun, Moon and Rising signs in the month of April 2017. Show me. Okay, so we've shuffled the cards, Virgo. We're going to split the deck into 3. Oh, forgot to say, these are the cards that I'm using this month. Where are they? There we go. Right, I'm using the Smith-Waite Tarot Deck Centennial Edition for your main reading. I'm also using Angel Answers as usual, advice card at the end of the reading. And also, just as a little bit of a, a little add-on, we've got the Under Roses Lenormand, 3 cards from that at the end of the reading, just to give any additional advice. So let's collect up the cards, and we're going to start laying them down. Alright, I feel that you're very focused at the moment on a relationship, potentially, Virgo, because you've got the Two of Cups showing up. It's amazing how many, cards show up and we say, as tarot readers, this is a relationship, this is a whatever. But sometimes it's just the way that the cards are, especially when you're getting a lot of people and you're getting challenges being a certain person and then you've got a certain person coming in, Virgo. It is really just what it is. It is what it is. But the immediate future, it might be you, because it's showing in a King of Pentacles. But we'll go through the reading and, we'll see what's going on here. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm looking at the first 10 cards, and then I obviously do the pair-ups. So I do pairing cards afterwards just to open up the reading. So sometimes when I expand the reading after I've done the first reading, it might have a different story slightly. It might just expand out what I've already said. But you can judge by, whatever comes up in the reading, you can make a judgment as to how you feel this affects you, which I encourage everybody to do. The Two of Cups is the you now position, so it should show in the external factors that there's a relationship here. You get the Two of Cups and this is about unconditional love a lot of the time. It's not though, not really. I mean, within the tarot, Virgo, we can't be as naive as to say the Two of Cups is about, unconditional love. It's really, the ethos of the card is about negotiation, pledges, promises, partnerships, unions. Can obviously be marriages because it's a cup card, it's emotions. It can be, a date that you go out on. It can be a friendship. So, there's some form of union of types going on here. But I feel that as a result of this card here, for me, when I do readings, I go external factors leading to what the present situation is, and the reason for that present situation should be the root cause. So you might be in talks at the moment. There might be something of a commitment with someone. It might be that there is, a relationship that you're in with someone here with the Two of Cups. It's not in the reverse, so it's saying something is potentially very much alive. But as a result of this, in the present, we've got the World. Now, the World could have meant if I'd had maybe a better card showing in the root issue, so the reason for this one. Not a better card, but a card that would would add up to why this is in the present. We could have said that maybe there's been great success. But I feel that it's almost like something has to give, I feel, in the month of April 2017, Virgo, because the World, you'd be surprised with the tarot and how these cards can kind of swing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. One hand of the World card is great achievement, great success. It's, it's a great outlook. It's long lasting. It's everlasting. The other way that we can look at the World card, Virgo, and say, well, it's the ending of a cycle. There's been a lesson learned, because remember, you start with the Fool, and it's funny because the Fool is the reason for this World card. this is the card that's underneath it. This is the reason for why in the present you've got the World. So the Fool can mean that it's a new opportunity card. It's blind faith potentially here. I mean, who knows? But I feel that this is really, one half of this reading in the you now position, present and leading up to the immediate future cards is really saying that, the Fool card for me is a card that says, it's an opportunity. And again, it's another one of those cards in the tarot that it can say is that you jump into an opportunity. Usually the Fool card is one of those cards that says, I go in with my eyes closed, because it's, this person approaches a situation kind of blindfolded really. This person doesn't really know what it's doing. It's the baby off the majors, starting a journey, and it's funny that it should be right underneath that World. So I feel as a result maybe of an opportunity or something you went into, I feel as a result of that with the World card, you kind of learn a lesson from it. I feel that you've been on a journey and you've come to the end of a journey, because this is the card that's underneath it. And for me, this is the start of a journey that you guys went into, probably way back. And now it's the culmination, I feel, with the World card showing here. Because that's how it happens within the major arcana. Fool starts the journey, World ends it. So I feel that as a result of a journey that you went on, it could have been that with your eyes closed there, you took a risk on something. That's what the Fool card is. It's to take a risk. It's to take a leap of faith in a situation. But when you get to the World card, it means that, this Fool has learned everything that they need to learn. So there's been a bit of growing up to do, and there could have been, because you now, as I've said, is showing this Two of Cups. And as a result of that, this relationship here, being the external factor, the root issue is you went into it perhaps, with all of the intensity and, all of the optimism of that the Fool would go into something with. You don't quite know where it's going to take you, but, the ride is going to be exciting. But as a result of that, we've got the World in the present situation, which says that something kind of wraps up for you guys in the month of April 2017, Virgo. Because as a result of this Fool card, what we have is the Moon. Now, the Moon for me is a card about, it's very complex. Again, think about your meanings within tarot. And usually I find that, different cards will, show either the light side of the card or the shadow side of the card. So the Moon, for me, within its light side, it means clarity and it means deep emotions. It means, very strong, creative intentions. It means when you're the Moon, you might be feeling, very, very intense about someone. There might be deep connections, deep feelings. It's all on the sort of the psychic level. It's deep emotional feelings. But on the bad side of the Moon, for me, this is a card about a very complex situation. It's a card that says, I feel really kind of uncomfortable. I feel worried. I feel a sense of anxiety. All of those things. So I feel as a result of taking a leap of faith in situation, as a result of this, it led you to the Moon. The Moon could mean, I took a risk on something and now I feel, it's quite deep. Now it's gone deeper. But this could also say, well, because I didn't look before I leapt. I leapt into a relationship and maybe I didn't look and it's gone a little bit awry maybe. Your challenge is the King of Wands for the month. So this is an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Virgo. So it might be that there is a fire sign. If it's not a fire sign, King of Wands can sometimes be a married person. So it might be that some of you guys are around somebody who is actually married. The King of Wands can also be confidence. So if it's not a person, then it's your own confidence that might be letting you down. But then as a challenge, really, the King of Wands shouldn't be confidence, lack of confidence. It should be too much confidence. So maybe you're dealing with somebody who is far too arrogant, because the King of Wands can certainly show somebody who's very proud and somebody who has a lot of arrogance. So maybe you're dealing with your challenge is dealing with a very arrogant individual. And maybe that's why, as a result of leaping into a relationship, whatever this is for you, Virgos, you soon discovered with the Moon card, well, maybe this person has some hidden depths to them. Maybe there are some secrets that this person keeps back from me. And it could also be with this King of Wands, well, he's a traveller. We know he travels to several countries. Maybe this person isn't always around. The best case scenario, when you get the Two of Wands, sometimes, in a love stroke relationship reading, Virgo, it will be that two people are at different ends of the spectrum. and one of them has to make a decision whether one is going to move on or, you know, stick within it. So, you know, the best case scenario is that you and a loved one might be at different ends of the spectrum. So you might be a little bit apart here with this Two of Wands energy here. It can also be the best case scenario is that you're at a little bit of a crossroads and you've got a decision to make with that Two of Wands. Because in the immediate future, we've got the King of Pentacles. Now, this is where it gets slightly tricky, because even though it's a king, you know, if you're a male watching my video, this could be you. Now, Virgo is usually showing as the Knight of Pentacles. That's a Virgo person, is the Knight of Pentacles. This would usually be a Taurus. So for some of you guys, it could be somebody coming in. But also, you know, if it's not, then this is you guys, Virgo. And this will be, you know, when you get kings and queens of pentacles, they're looking at the real value of something, because this is what these guys are like, the pentacle people. They're down to earth, they're grounded, but only to a certain extent. This person is really kind of very, you know, this person is very excited and they are very motivated by earthly aspects. So this person has to have the right partner, for example, next to his side. Got to have the right car. Because he's all about the external, the superficial in a way. He's draped in gold, which says that he perhaps puts more onus on what the superficial aspect is of a relationship rather than what something is internally. So even though the King of Pentacles can be described as somebody who is very faithful, very loyal, very loving in a relationship, because he's earth, he's very grounded, he's very down to sense, common sense. Really, we'll take the word common sense and we'll say that some of you guys, if this is you, you're stepping into your common sense with this situation, because that's what the King of Pentacles is. He uses his common sense. And he's very much like that. You'll see how all the kings and queens can really kind of overlap in the way that they are as people. King of Swords is somebody who has common sense. They all have common sense, really. You know, King of Wands, if King of Wands needs to focus on his career, he'll do that to the detriment. It could be these challenges, this person's not paying you much attention, maybe. Because King of Wands can be somebody who's so focused on their career and getting ahead to the detriment of everything and everyone in their life. So it might be that somebody isn't completely focusing on you. And maybe you guys went into something here with the Fool, thinking to yourselves, you know, going to take a leap of faith, this could be the greatest thing ever, and you've kind of run into the Moon card. Well, what the hell's going on here? There's something that's not right. There's something that I can't put my finger on. I haven't heard from this person. Maybe this person's keeping secrets from me. Maybe there's just too much, you know, silence going on, or, you know, I'm feeling anxious about this situation. Maybe it's because you're challenged with the King of Wands. Is this person's not always around? Well, they might not have any time for you, or they might simply be too arrogant. But as I've said, in comes this King of Pentacles. Now, this could be somebody new for you, Virgos, coming in the second 2 weeks of April, potentially, going on from that. Or it could be that you're using your common sense, your right to use your common sense with this King of Pentacles. Because what you'll experience is the Three of Wands. And when you get the Three of Wands, it's the first card. So when I draw the pairing card, we should be able to see what this person's looking towards. If you get a card before the Three of Wands, usually shows you what you're turning your back on. But if you get a card in front of the Three of Wands, because this person looks forward and they're looking into the future, you can usually see what they're actually looking to have come in. So you guys might be turning your back on it. You know, if this is you and you are using your common sense, it might be that you decide to turn your back on a situation that no longer serves you. Your fears might be, it depends really. Eight of Wands is a fairly kind of ambiguous card, because it can mean that several things. You know, this can mean travel. It can mean lots of communication via email, text message, phone calls. It can mean that things are up in the air, for example. Fears might be that things remain up in the air maybe with you for the Eight of Wands. But the outcome shows, as a result of the Three of Wands, perhaps turning your back on a situation, Virgo, you've got the Hanged Man. And I see this guy's view with the Hanged Man as you guys feeling far more relaxed having done this. Let's get the pairing cards and see what they're saying to us within this reading. Let's get the card with the Two of Cups and see what type of relationship that this is. Well, I feel that it's a relationship in which there is a very, very deep connection, because you've got that Queen of Cups sitting there. And when you get a Queen of Cups card, it means that because she's highly intuitive, but she is very emotionally involved, and she's an empath, and she knows how to connect emotionally with others. With this Two of Cups, you could be saying that there is a relationship in the month of April 2017, Virgo, where there is a very deep and also very mutual connection going on between you and another person. As a result of that, we've got the World. So why is it the World as a result? What do we get with the World card? and the Queen of Swords. Well, the Queen of Swords is turning her back to this world. So I feel for some reason, this should be a very deep connection for me with this Two of Cups and the Queen of Cups. But the Queen of Cups can also be an energy that says, well, I'm evaluating this. Because the Queen of Cups, and I have to make this match up to why on earth we've got the World card. And not unless you've got great success in communication maybe with the partner, because we've got the Great Success card, the World card, and the Queen of Swords can be communication potentially. However, the World card can mean the ending of a cycle. Perhaps with the Queen of Swords, I'm cutting this situation out. But how would that come in as a result of this? What we could perhaps say then is that maybe there's a relationship here, one in which, with the Queen of Cups, ability to intuit a situation, to know exactly what is best for her on an emotional level, that you've intuited that perhaps this relationship is the wrong thing. And hence, there is an ending of a cycle here with the World card in which you decide that you're looking to cut something out. That's because in the distant past, now this should tell us a little bit more as to whether this is something you're cutting out or there's a good conversation or something happening with someone here. Well, we've got the Fool and the Empress showing up here. So, you know, the Fool card is about an opportunity that one seeks. You know, it's about following your heart. It could be that in the distant past you followed your heart in a relationship. You followed your heart in terms of a mutual attraction that you felt with the Empress energy showing here. But as a result of that, we have the Moon and... yeah, well, here we go. There's been anxiety, the Moon, and I feel some of you guys are leaving that behind as a result. Why is there anxiety? We have to go back to the root issue here. So, I feel therefore that this isn't about just following your heart. This Fool can be somebody who's non-committal. The Empress is when you're committed to something. The Empress will show up when there is a very deep and profound and, you know, very strong sexual attraction. But I feel with this Fool card, it's almost like this is quite a fleeting sexual attraction here between you and another individual, which is why, in the present, something's being wrapped up here in April in which you're looking, perhaps with that Queen of Swords, to cut them out. Because I feel rather than this being a deeply shared emotional relationship, this is a relationship with the Two of Cups, in which you're needing to use your intuition. You're needing to use your emotional smarts. You know, is this the right relationship? Because this person's not, and we look at the direction of the cards as well. We see the Fool, even though really, if we were to look at it numerically, the Fool is 0, the Empress is 3. So it's going upwards. It's saying that, you know, something you've ventured into has really escalated and it's grown. But if it's grown, then why on earth are you walking away here? So it must be that we look at the direction of the cards and we see the Fool has got its back turned to this Empress. So this person, though they find you attractive, they're not always there, I believe, with these cards. And that's why all of this kind of, I don't know what the fuck's going on here, Moon card energy, you want to walk away from that with the Eight of Cups because it's just not good enough. Remember, the Moon is a major and it's also a higher numbered card than this 8 here. So really the Moon, for me, you know, it wouldn't serve me to say there's been a very, very deep connection. And, you know, we could say there's a deep connection here and one wants to kind of explore that with the Eight of Cups. But I feel that this is turning your back because I'm seeing a back being turned to the Moon. All right, so it's heading in the other direction. All right, there's something going on here that you don't know what the hell's going on about. What's the hell's going on, Virgo? And you're turning. Maybe you guys are trying to find something out with this Eight of Cups. But I feel just looking at the direction, instead of looking numerically at the numbers and how they go up and down with the cards, maybe it makes sense to look at the directions of the cards and say, well, the Fool turns its back on the Empress. Okay, it's kind of like, I'm done with that. I've had sex with you. I'm off. See ya. And as a result of that, it leaves you kind of possibly quite anguished. Possibly when this person leaves with the Eight of Cups. Because it could be, let's go through this again, how interesting. If we were to take another kind of stance on the reading, Virgo, what we could say is that there's a relationship here, one in which you're deeply invested. The Queen of Cups can also mean that you're completely and utterly emotionally invested. So some of you guys might be very invested in an emotional relationship here with another individual. However, the root issue is that this person seems to be in and out of your life. Whenever they want, however they want. They're not completely committed to the growth of this relationship. So therefore, there's a lot of upset here with the Moon card. Perhaps when this person goes away, or there's a lot of upset and you need to kind of remove yourself from this emotional attachment, maybe. Because we can see there's emotional attachment with that Queen of Cups. And I feel some of you guys will want to remove yourself from that with the Eight of Cups and that Moon energy. And that's why, in the present, with the World card, it's reaching a conclusion. One in which you're looking at it from a very logical standpoint with the Queen of Swords energy. Your challenge is this King of Wands. Let's have a look at why the challenge is the King of Wands. Let's shuffle and see why this challenge is the King of Wands. Pretty sure this is the person here. Well, your challenge is making a judgment or even speaking your truth, I feel. Because you've got this man sitting here. Okay, so this is a person, male or female. Could be a fire sign individual. And the Judgment card shows up when you've got to say something. Alright, so the Judgment card will show up when you've got to, like, you know, things are... If you look here in the recent past, you've got that Moon card there. Things are being hidden. Okay, and you're probably en route to trying to explore, well, what the hell is this person hiding? They come and go as they please. They're not always around. So I want to find out what the hell's going on here. Or, you know what, I'm sick and I'm done with this kind of confusion and anxiety it's causing me. So, I'm, you know, it's like, bye. Because your challenge is this King of Wands and the Judgment card. Now, the King of Wands is the person that's challenging you. But why are they challenging you? Because you've got something to say, I feel, with this Judgment card. You've got to, you know, when you get judgment, often it's say it, speak the truth. Because these cards are showing dormancy. These people were once dead and they're being called up. So something is being called back with the Judgment card. Something that has been very quiet, that has been very, very underneath the surface for a long time, like it is with the Moon card, is now being called into action. Okay, so it can also be that your challenge for some of you guys is a call to action on this person here. Because the best case scenario for some of you Virgos in the month of April 2017 is the Two of Wands and Temperance. So, you know, the Two of Wands is about indecision. When you get this card, it's about, you know, well, I'm at a bit of a crossroads. I could go left or I could go right. But for me, with the Temperance card, because it goes up in numbers, and we can see that you know, we've got another figure of 2 on this Temperance card. Temperance is number 16 or something? I can't quite remember in the tarot. But when you get the Temperance card, it's about trying to work things out, creating a harmonious relationship. So for you guys, I feel that it will be that the best case scenario within the first 2 weeks is that even though you might seem to be at a crossroads, you'll be doing your damnedest to try and kind of work this relationship out, maybe with the Temperance energy. In the immediate future, we have this King of Pentacles. I want to see why we've got this King of Pentacles, what the other card can perhaps tell us either about him or the situation. Well, I feel that you've got somebody coming in. And I feel with the Knight of Pentacles, the funny thing is, Virgo, the Knight of Pentacles is you. So this is you guys here. Because we're saying as a combination, because usually sometimes when you get the second card, it shows a facet of what the first card is. So we could say that there's somebody coming in and they're going to be really stable. Because I feel that you've got a destabilised energy going on here. So it could be, well, there's a King of Pentacles coming in and he'll be really faithful and really loyal and really stable. We could also say that, you know, we've got a King of Pentacles coming in and this person is right behind you, Virgo, because they're right here and they're looking over at you, funnily enough. Okay, your Virgo is the Knight of Pentacles. This is your card here. So there might be somebody who's coming in. It might not be a lover, it might be a friend who's there to give you support. You know, he's there to be right by your side. But your influence is coming in. What you will experience is the Three of Wands. I want to see exactly what it is that you're looking towards. Well, you're looking towards moving on because you've got the Chariot. Alright, so as I've said, if I get a card and then the Three of Wands, I know what the Three of Wands is turning its back on. If I get a card after the Three of Wands, I know what the Three of what you're looking for. So you're looking to move on. It might be that you've got a very stable force here, Virgo, that comes in. That's very protective of you, very helpful to you. But I feel that it's either that you're looking to move on or you're looking for more excitement. Because you got this Chariot guy, you see, and this can be a Cancerian male. It can also be when you get the Chariot. The Chariot card is all about, you know, it's not just about overcoming an obstacle, but the Chariot also says, you know, this is some hot dude. This is somebody who's, you know, ready and raring to go. He's kind of like a younger version in a way of the King of Wands. When you get Chariot people, they're good looking, they're assertive, they're, you know, they're really, you know, confident, they're very attractive, they are, you know, they've got a lot of followers, they're that type of individual, they're like stars. So this is like a star type, and it might be that you're looking for a different type of individual here. I feel somebody might come in and offer you support, but what you're looking is either to move on from this situation that's occurring, or you're looking for a particular type that you're in, especially if this King of Pentacles comes in and this person wants to offer you support. I feel that what's coming in is you're going to be looking for a different type of individual. This is not somebody that you'd probably be that interested in, even though you should really be being a Virgo in a way. I feel that you are looking for something else because you're looking towards the Chariot. And sometimes this can be, for me, you're looking to move on, you're looking to overcome the obstacles of the past. And sometimes for me, Virgo, it can be, well, I'm actually looking for a really kind of hot and exciting dude, you know, that type of thing. Your hopes or fears will be the Eight of Wands and the Emperor. Ugh, let's look at this combination. Okay, Eight of Wands and the Emperor. I don't know why you'd want communication from an Emperor. I don't think it's that. It could be because Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands usually means something that's quick moving. So sometimes this can be progress potentially. I don't know whether I could say quick stability or with the Emperor card, or let me just have a little think about this combination. I've not seen this combination before. I feel that, you know, I shouldn't read this as a combination. I feel that if you guys are feeling up in the air, then I feel that you want to be more grounded maybe with that Emperor card. So I feel that all these feelings that are all over the place, you're hoping that are going to become more grounded by finding that perfect partner potentially for some of you. And the outcome shows us the Hanged Man and the Tower. The Hanged Man often for me means, you know, there's an adjustment that happens here within your life. So I feel that you guys are going to be going through some form of an adjustment here with the Hanged Man. And it might lead with the Tower to complete and utter annihilation of how you've known your life before in terms of this particular relationship. For me as well, when I look at the Hanged Man, it reminds me of somebody who's at peace. And it could mean that your peace, maybe with the Tower, is being destroyed with that Tower card, because the Tower seeks to annihilate and the Hanged Man seeks to wait, okay, and it seeks to kind of just endure, all right. Could also be, you know, enduring a situation, or this situation is not a viable possibility right now with that Tower energy showing there. I'm just going to get another card after that Tower. And Death, the Tower and Death. This can also be, for me, something that you were holding on to with the Tower in the outcome is obliterated, and it just leads to complete and utter annihilation with that Death card. Usually for me, when I get the Tower and Death, it means something's completely done, dusted and over. Alright? So maybe, you know, you guys have been hanging on for a particular person and that's done by the end of the month. Alright? Let's go through this reading again. It's very, very interesting. I feel that the you now position, Virgo, is showing that you are possibly emotionally invested in a relationship here. But the root issue is that it might be that somebody is not as committed to this relationship or to you, okay, to sticking around with that Fool turning his back on the Empress. As a result of that, it might leave you a little bit conflicted, the Moon card, possibly when this person leaves, or conflicted, and you're looking to release yourself from that energy with the Eight of Cups. Because your challenge is the King of Wands and an awakening that you've had perhaps with the Judgment card over that individual, which leaves you in the present situation as the World, wrapping up of the cycle in which, with the Queen of Swords, I feel that you'll be looking to cut someone out. Because the best case scenario, I feel, with this Two of Wands is actually making a decision. The immediate future could show somebody new coming in, this King of Pentacles. This is somebody that would look after you. It can be that this King of Pentacles is really reliable and loyal and all the rest of it with the Knight of Pentacles. It can also be this person is actually there for you because you're showing us the Knight there. But coming in, I feel that you're looking for something else if there's somebody that comes in, Virgo. Three of Wands is facing that Chariot. So you're either looking maybe to travel, move on, overcome obstacles, or you might be looking for a certain type of individual to come into your life. Could be somebody who's, fast, furious, exciting. You might just be looking for the same type of energy you've had with somebody else, which would be a problem for you, I feel. Your hopes will be the Eight of Wands. Okay, and this really takes, speeds up. So there's a speed up in, I don't know what to call this. I feel that you're hoping for more grounded energy here. And the outcome shows us, I feel that whatever it is that you are holding on for. So you got the Hanged Man, and the Hanged Man can sometimes mean I have a certain belief system here. And though it might be a little bit kooky, it's what I believe in and I'm sticking by it, okay? So the Hanged Man sometimes means for me laziness. Or, there's a laziness to change sometimes with this Hanged Man. But I feel with the Tower, this is saying that, you can't stay this way. You can't kind of sit on the fence forever concerning this relationship. It's over, it's done and dusted with the Tower and the Death card. Because the Hanged Man is where somebody's being kept in limbo. But I feel as a result of this Tower and the Death card, you won't be being kept in limbo for much longer at all. And I feel it's concerning the relationship for some of you guys that is, it's not really doing you any good. What we're going to do, we're going to get an angel reading with this, these cards, Virgo. Let's have a look. Universe, Spirit, show me Virgo. What's coming in for Virgo? Show me angels. What is the advice that you have for Virgo in the month of April 2017? What is the advice? Show me the advice that you have for Virgo. What is the advice that you have for Virgo in the month of April 2017? Show me. Oh, there it is. And of course, the Hanged Man is a card that says, because you're holding on with the Tower, you're going to have to let go. And it's final with the Death card. So there's definitely something you're going to have to let go of here. Because this card's just shot out and it says to let go. So it's telling you to let go of the situation here in the month of April 2017, Virgo. And let's have a look at what your Lenormand 3-card Lenormand reading says. Lenormand, what is the advice, Universe Spirit, through the Lenormand card from the top of the deck? What is the advice that you have for Virgo in the month of 3 cards, just to explain to Virgo, Sun, Moon and Rising signs, the advice that you have for Virgo? Show me. The Lilies, Crossroads, and the Moon. Well, I feel that you're going to find it difficult to let go. The Lilies is sometimes peace. Okay. Sometimes this is a long-term relationship, something that's matured. But, usually this shows contentment. So contentment comes through choice, I feel, with the Crossroads. Possibly to do with your feelings with the Moon, all right? So I feel that you'll get contentment if you can make a decision based on what your feelings are, what your true feelings are, because the Moon card is true feelings, it's deep feelings. It's like the Moon in the Tarot in a way. It's about what you know. When you get the Moon, it's what you know, and what you know is what you deeply feel deep down inside. And I feel that contentment with the Lilies comes through a choice with the Crossroads over what your true deep feelings are, and also on what your intuition with this Moon card is telling you, because remember the Moon represents intuition too. So I feel that the Lenormand is saying the same thing, that you're going to have true contentment and happiness if you can just make a choice based on your intuition in the month of April 2017, Virgo. And I feel the cards are really telling you that you've got to let go. That is your reading, Virgo, for the month of April 2017. I would like to say thank you so much for choosing Carol's Universe on YouTube. And yeah, I'll speak to you guys soon. Take care.